So this will be a short tactica on the Celestian squads. They're an elite choice for the Sisters of Battle. They would have been a great troop choice, but they're elite. So in 6th edition, you really have to think very hard about your elites, because each elite, at best, it can be a denial unit. It could take Linebreaker for points, but otherwise they can never, claim objectives. And your heavy and your fast attack and your troop choices are going to be able to claim objectives in most games. One of those, if not all of those, are going to be able to take objectives. So the Celestian squad, it's going to have at base 5 girls in it, 4 Celestians and a superior. They're infantry. They cost 80 points. They come with the same things that standard battle sisters come with: power armor, bolt gun, bolt, pistols, frag and crack grenades. They have an active faith, which is unique to them, and it actually, unfortunately, isn't really a great one. It's Hands of the Emperor, and then they have Shield of Faith, which is that 6+ invulnerable save that everything in the Sisters army gets, and they can take a transport. You can boost the squad up to a total of 10 girls for extra points. Regardless of how many you have in your squad, though, you can exchange the bolt gun on one of them for either a storm bolter, a heavy bolter or flamer, a melta or melta gun, or a heavy flamer. Same options as battle sisters for the most part, and maybe if you could have exchanged it on all of them, it would be a great choice. But at this option, you can just sort of boost one, and then on a second girl, you can change the bolt gun up for a storm bolter, a flamer, or a melta gun. So that's what it is. And then they can take a Simraculum Imperialis, which this is a blessed banner here, but same sort of thing. One of them's gonna trade off one of their bolt guns for an item that they're gonna hold up, and that gives them a bonus on their Axe of Faith. It's 20 points. I don't think you're gonna use it. And then the superior can trade in their bolt gun for a chainsword for free, a storm bolter, or then combi sword, power sword, which becomes power weapon, a combi flamer, combi melta, or plasma. Those are actually all good options for this particular squad, because the combi weapons are pretty useful if you're going to charge. When a Celestian squad is theoretically for close combat, then the combi weapons are probably pretty good. They could take the Condemner bolt gun, which I still think is useless, or a plasma pistol, and then she could take melta bombs for 5 points. If you're going to take this squad, might as well take the melta bombs. So, in terms of the background, these are supposed to be the best of the best of the sisters who've done exceptional in every other aspect of their lives. They've been Repentia, or Retributors, or Dominions, or exceptionally effective Battle Sisters, or Seraphim, and once they've become sort of the heroic best, they become Celestians. And that all sounds great, and it sounds like this would be the unit to take, the elite of the elite, but in reality, the only difference between these girls and most of the others is their weapon skill is 1 better, their weapon skill 4, and they have an additional attack. And they've got pistols, so they're going to get a fair number of attacks in close combat. But, one of the things you see with Sisters of Battle is they're sort of a mixture between Space Marines and say, Imperial Guard. So these girls do have their 3+ armor save, like a Space Marine. And their active faith gives them an additional point to their strength and makes them fearless for the round. Well, that's great. They'll be strength 4. And they're still going to be initiative 3. So against anything other than, say, Imperial Guard or Tau, they're going to kind of get stomped, because they're not going to go first. They're not even going to go at the same time. If you charge them into a bunch of Space Marines, the Space Marines will go first. If you charge them into Eldar, the Eldar will go first. If you charge them, into Tau, okay, well, they'll probably do okay, or against Guard, but there aren't going to be that many of them versus the guard, so the guard will probably still, wipe them out. So it's supposed to be a close combat unit that really doesn't work, and I would say I've never seen anyone play them, so there's a reason for that. They would have been a good troop choice, but they're an elite choice, and they're probably not worth taking.